Troublesome, you girls. It's the day Mr. Gilfane is returning from his trip to England. You're all late. Any excuses?
Well, it would take a longer dressing when you're expecting such a distinguished visitor.
And I lost my powder puff and had to wash my face.
I had to mend my lace mantilla. There was a hole in the lace. And I had to cut a couple of inches off my skirt. The last time he was here, Mr. Gilfane said he liked my pretty ankle.
You try to please him that way, I know, to any extent. But he is not coming to an anatomical museum. The world is waiting for this season's supply of our great perfume, Floradora. And we must see that they get it. Don't you realize that Bond Street, Broadway, the Rue de la Paix, every fashionable lady on note or title wants the wonderful perfume Floradora?
Oh, I should like to see Bond Street. I have always fancied myself in Bond Street.
Fancied yourself doing what in Bond Street?
Well, just a strolling up and down until I marry an earl.
You? Marry an earl?
Well, they say it is the early bird that catches the worm.
And I would like to go to New York.
And what would you do in New York?
Oh, I would find myself a nice rich man like you.
Oh, how I long for Paris. The lights, the boulevards, Montmartre.
And what would you do in Montmartre?
I should hate to tell you.
You're very naughty girls. Don't you know you're here to work, not dream? So don't chatter. Attend to the clothing carts. Here they come.
Fresh from the counting house are we, where every day from 10 till 3 we emulate the busiest bee that ever buzzed in Clover. On more high schools we sit intent, on more magnificent legends bent. Without us this establishment would surely topple over. You others may toil with pen and ink, all day at my desk I sit and think. This being thus, you'll all agree, the credit's entirely due to me. I beg to respectfully disagree, the credit's entirely due to me. The credit, yes, the credit is entirely due to me, to me, to me. It's due to me. I'd like to say it's due to me. The praise is forward, praise is due to stay from every point of view. We beg we should give credit to, why mention B or C? To no conclusion can we come to solve this complicated sum. In Tweedledee, to Tweedledum says poo to you, poo to you, poo and fiddly-dee.
As poet of this establishment, my pretty poetical puffs are sent to the end of the world for fine blind to think the credit's entirely mine.
I correspond with greatest ease in 20 different languages. For £1 a week, so you'll agree the credit's entirely due to me.
As under assistant sub-cashier with long quill pen and crowns of it, I make out bills and so you see the credit's entirely due to me.
I beg to respectfully disagree. The credit's entirely due to me. The credit, yes, the credit is entirely due to me, to me, to me.
It's due to me.
I'd like to say
It's due to me. The praise is forward, praise is due, 'tis clear from every point of view. In vain we should give credit to what mention B or C. To no conclusion can we come to solve this complicated sum. It tweedledee, to tweedledum. Say who to you, who to you, who, and fiddly-dee.
Well, Leandro, is everything ready for Mr. Gilfane?
What that I have to attend to? I've got an answer for the office work.
Oh, no, we attend to that.
You mean Mr. Abercord attends to it?
Well, Mr. Abercord works for Mr. Gilfane, and we work for Mr. Gilfane, so anything Mr. Abercord says, we obey.
That interfering Englishman?
He is a gentleman.
Yes, that is the trouble.
Well, boys, is everything all right at the offices?
Oh, yes, a capital crop of blossoms and a splendid crop of orders, too.
Good, then everything is ready so that Mr. Gilfane can prepare the essence of Floradora the moment he arrives. You may go now.
Thank you, sir.
I wish I could find out the secret of this Floradora.
Enough of that. The secret of preparing Floradora is Mr. Gilfane's property. To try and find out is to try and rob him.
I hate these Saxon prejudices against robbery.
You look as though you do. You may go now. I said you may go now. Is there something you wish to tell me?
Yes. One of the girls neglects her work.
Indeed. Which one?
Which one? The one you'll spoil, of course.
Ah, Dolores.
First of all, Mr. Gilfane says she's not to do more work than she likes. Then he doubles her wages and she does not anything at all. There is some mystery about that girl.
Leandro, you don't like Dolores, do you? And then for want of something better to do, you say that she's a mystery. Well, that's rubbish. Mr. Gilfane likes her, as we all do, and he wishes to be kind to her. Besides, what has it to do with you?
Everything. Dolores is idle and careless. She sets a bad example and I can't discipline.
Very well. Send the girl to me. I'll talk to her. Oh, and Leandro, let me give you a word of advice. Don't be such a bully to those who work under you.
I don't want to be a bully to anyone. Least of all a girl who gets double wages. There, I told you so.
He told you so. What did he tell you?
Come here, Dolores. Leandro has been complaining about you.
Oh, has he? That is of no importance. He is a big-faced.
He says you are a mystery.
So I am. I'm not treated like the other girls. I'm allowed to do just as I please. I don't know why. Do you?
No, but Leandro says you don't attend to your work.
Work? That is a very horrible word, and I do not like it. Please not to speak it again. I have heard that people die through work. I am going to live a long time. I hate work. But don't you be angry with me. Mr. Gilfane is never angry with me.
No, and Mr. Gilfane is master, so we must do as he does and follow his lead, eh?
Is it so difficult to follow that lead?
It's difficult not to follow it.
A man can always get over a little difficulty like that if he wants to.
No, not always. Sometimes there may be reasons why he must not, dare not.
And have you any such reasons?
Yes, one especially.
Oh, I know. You are married already. Most foreigners have wives in their own country. That's why they come abroad.
Quite wrong, Dolores. No, I left England and quarrelled with my own people because I would not marry a girl that I did not love.
What was the matter with her? Was she a big, fat girl?
No, Dolores.
Oh, I see. Then she had not, what do you say, got everything. And you will only marry a girl you really love?
Marry? Oh, I shan't marry. Well, not yet, anyway.
Are you waiting till you are old enough?
No, Dolores, but I think I am in love.
With me? Are you in love with me?
I can't tell you that. But someday I may be free, and I promise that you will be the first to know about it.
I tell the day? Well, give this kiss to somebody. There's none in the world like she. On land or sea, where'er I be, my heart will be here. Just here with somebody. It is for you to tell, my lady, and since you know her well, my lady, you are the image of somebody. Yes, you are the image of somebody, somebody. My lady, my lady, you're the image of somebody, of somebody, yes, of somebody. I love somebody, somebody, on land or sea, wherever I be. I love that somebody, and that somebody loves me well.
Did you see that, girls? Mr. Abercoy flirting with Dolores.
Dolores has always loved. They all flood with Dolores and let her run wild and do no work.
And don't you call me being very either. I'll smack it with the crumpet. Can I be dreaming? What's
What on earth is it? It's a man.
What do you think it was? You answered the 20 questions. Animal, vegetable, mineral or abstract?
Well, he's a very funny looking man.
There's a good answer to that. We are not amused. Oh, sorry, we are amused. Can you tell me? Oh, don't be frightened. I'm not a spiv. Can you tell me?
Well, sir, this island is...
Philippine, I said it first. You can't put one over on me. Is this the island of Floradora?
Of course it is.
Where the perfume comes from?
Yes.
I want the right scent, evidently.
And who might you be?
I am Anthony Tweedlepunch, phonologist, palmist, wholesale scientist, Vertimill Circus, Olympia, London. Pardon me, my photograph. Now then, forever Amber. I reserve this one especially for you, taken in the bath.
I cannot see you.
Hey? Someone shut the bathroom door.
Why have you come to the island of Floradora?
I'm on scientific research among the heads of people.
Ah, Mr. Gilfin is a scientific man also.
Is that so? Pity.
Yes, this island belongs to him. How did you get here?
How does one get to the nearest island? By boat. Look, there. Look. Whoa! Is this the food office?
No, that is Mr. Gilfain's private office, where he makes the essence of Floradora.
Ah, I'm getting warm. Tell me, what does the essence consist of?
That is quite a secret known only to Mr. Gilfain.
Ah, my child, science lays bare all secrets. All male secrets, of course. I'm getting hot.
We know everybody on this island.
Tell me, is there a young lady by the name of Gazara, an orphan, poor thing?
Yeah. No, we never heard of her.
I'm not as warm and hot as I thought. Oh dear.
Oh, Mr. Abercoy, there's a gentleman here from London.
A gentleman from London? Impossible. Oh, I see. Excuse me, but this is private property.
And so am I.
Are you a friend of Mr. Gilfain?
No, that is, we haven't met yet. We're both scientists.
He's due back here today. Perhaps he's expecting you?
No. Would you kindly hold my hat? Don't shake it about. A bunny rabbit might fall out, sir. Pardon me. My photograph. And my mission here is private. can you tell me, is there a young lady on the island whose father's name is Gazara?
No, and I know them all.
Must be working overtime. Perhaps you can introduce me to them all.
Certainly not.
No, perhaps not. Bunch of precautions strongly developed. Oh well, if you can't find me the girl, perhaps you can find me a hotel.
We have no hotel on this island.
That reminds me of the Hilda Manor. Oh well, if you can't find me the hotel, perhaps you can find me somewhere to rest my weary head.
Leandro, take this man away and make him up a bed of flower stalks in an outhouse.
Flower stalks?
Come along.
Outhouse?
Look out.
As a man of science?
Okay.
Oh, God. Where did you get that face? It's beastly. Well, it's horrible. It's bad enough to stone a wall. What's wrong with it?
You don't make such remarks about my face. It's mortifying.
Oh, that's what's wrong with it. I thought you caught it in the mincing machine. Oh, you got it from there. I should have left it there if I was you.
Kiss the sombrero.
Don't be so disgusting. I don't think it'll win. I should beg it for a place. I say, young man, if I bring up my head, you know, when I look at your face, we're going to be great friends. I'm awfully fond of bulldogs.
Clear it. Mr. Majora. Come on, hurry, be quick. I got the gun.
I had a land take to you, sir, and teach, push, and fiddly la la. And let me tell you, sir, I may not be Spanish, but I know my onions. Oh, crumpet. Oh, we are. Oh, we are. Oh, quick, come here. Oh, yeah, over there.
Three cheers for Mr. Gilfane. Hip hip!
Hooray!
Hip hip!
Hooray!
Hip hip!
Hooray!
Now ain't that swell? Wonderful what a hearty welcome you get when they know you're the proprietor of them all.
We're very pleased to have you back amongst us once again, sir.
And I'm feeling mighty fine to see you too.
Did you like England, sir?
Liked England, I'm going to become a nationalised Englishman. I bought myself a fine estate and castle, the property of an old-fashioned family.
Really? And why did they sell it?
They had to. They couldn't make up a Christie's what they lost at Tattersall. Because they had to be there.
England's no place for poetry. No, we shall not like England.
You'll like it, brother. And the dames.
Yeah.
Women, yeah.
Say you ain't seen nothing yet, sister. And they got it.
What is it?
I'll let you judge for yourself. My daughter's brought some of her friends over to see our little old island. Let me introduce you. It's Lucy Lee. Miss Daisy Jane. Miss Lottie Chalmers. And Miss Clarice Fitzclarence. Remnants of the matrimonial stock left over from the latest London season. Ladies, my clerks, Mr. Pym, Mr. Sims, Mr. Langdale, and last but not least, Mr. Draper, the dreaded Torah from Tonbridge. And now, my friends, you know my one aim in life after Floradora is to see you all happy and contented.
Oh, we are so very grateful to you, sir.
And I'm always thinking of ways of making you happy. How would a little travelling suit you?
Oh, not at all, I'm afraid. A traveller came here this morning and he seemed far from happy.
A traveller who?
Professor Tweedlepunch from the Olympia, London. Here's his photograph.
London? We don't want no strange guys on this little old island. Hi, Leandro.
You want me, sir?
Where is this Professor Tiddlypush? Tweedlepunch? This interloper?
I left him asleep in an outhouse.
Asleep on my premises? I'll interview him at once. Mr. Pym, Mr. Sims, Mr. Langdale, Mr. Draper. Show the ladies over the island.
Rather. Come and see the factory, the farm, and the flowers.
Come take us round to see the sights we gave us are some shutter fights.
Will you follow us everywhere? Will you follow us everywhere?
The roundabouts, American swings, aquariums, and tours and things, and all the fun of the fair.
Then follow us everywhere. So come, so come, so come,
So come,
so come, so come along. So come along with are we. No lion, no we, and 1,000 a week, but come along with me. So come along with me. So come along and hear the song that nature sings the whole day long, and over the hills and far away, like lambs in spring we gaily play. So come along and hear the song that nature sings the whole day long, and trippingly, swingingly, oh so gay we go over the hills away.
I've lost my way. I wonder. Oh.
Can I be of any use? Good gracious. Lady Holyrood.
So this is where you got to. Frank Abercourt. Fancy meeting you here.
Yes, here I am in my little hideaway where I thought none of my friends or acquaintances would ever find me.
Very polite. Of course, we all knew you disappeared. We read it in the Daily Mail.
God bless the Daily Mail.
No one knew where you'd gone or why you'd gone. Some said you'd run off with an actress. Others that you were, in a lunatic asylum.
Oh, how people flatter one behind one's back. No, the truth is that I said yes to someone who said yes to me, and then we both wished we'd said no to each other. And I thought that a change of air might be good for both of us. I suppose everyone in true British style said that he has broken his word.
How noble. If everyone who broke his word left England, the whole country would be as empty as Piccadilly in the off-season. Who was the promise made? A woman or a moneylender?
Oh, didn't you know that I was engaged to marry?
Oh, yes, I know, but so poor. For years they've been living on the interest of what they owe.
Well, I didn't love her, so, like a coward, I ran away.
Coward? To run away from a woman with 10,000 a year? I call it pluck. What? She has consoled herself.
How?
How does every intelligent woman console herself? She married soon afterwards.
Married?
Oh, I dare say she's separated by now. Oh, yes, she must be. She's been married for more than a year.
Then that lets me out beautifully. Thank you for the information, Lady Holyrood.
Quite right to be grateful. So few married men are really free nowadays. They all have ties they cannot shake off. Married women are the only people who are really free. But tell me, what have you been doing?
Well, when I broke my word, I went to America to earn my living. I called at the offices of Mr. Gilfane and said, I am an English gentleman and I'm looking for a job. So he asked me what I could do.
And I suppose you told him you could play bridge?
No, I said that I could read and write and add up figures.
Oh, usual accomplishments of an English gentleman. Wasn't he surprised?
No, not really. After a year with him in America, he suddenly decided that I might be useful to him out here. So once again, the happy wanderer set sail to conquer lands anew, and here I am, all bright and smiling.
But you cannot stay here now that you are Lord Abercourt.
Lord Abercourt?
Didn't you know? Your uncle had died.
Then I am Lord Abercourt.
Yes, and you're wanted in England at once.
Sorry, but that's quite impossible.
Why?
Well, you see, I've made a life for myself here.
Frank Abercourt, I am a woman of the world, and it takes a very clever man to throw the dust in my eyes. There's a woman here And you are in love with her?
Well, yes.
Really, love? Oh, darling, don't you realize that's terribly old-fashioned and considered slightly disgusting in our set? Oh, but how exciting. I simply must find out. Are you in love with a nice girl, or like a fashionable man with a friend's wife?
Sorry, nothing doing.
Not telling, hey? Then it must be a friend's wife. I simply must find out.
Oh, you'll find out. But tell me, how did you come here?
Oh, with Mr. Gilfane on business.
Business?
Well, I want to find a suitable match for my brother Arthur. Angela Gilfane will do splendidly. And then Mr. Gilfane is so rich, I might be persuaded.
Oh, I see, I see.
I'm glad you see.
You would like to be the second Mrs.
Oh,
Gilfane.
please, don't be indelicate. Nothing is arranged. Up till now, I'm still faithful to the memory of my first husband. It's so easy to be faithful to a man who is no longer alive. But tell me, is Mr. Gilfane an easy man to get on with?
I thought you must have a strong motive for leaving London in the height of the season. What will society do without you?
Dear Lord Abercourt, society ceased to exist after the last general election.
London must be like a deserted village without Lady Holyrood.
Excuse me, sir. Mr. Gilfane wishes to speak with you.
Thank you. Tell him I'll be with him immediately.
Certainly, sir.
You must excuse me, Lady Holyrood, but I'm afraid this is a question of business before pleasure.
But of course, Frank. It's been wonderful seeing you after the changes. You know, I've always been very fond of you, my dear. There, my dear. Now run along. Now, who was she? And why did she look at me like that? Ah, I see it all now. She's the girl Abercourt is in love with. And he doesn't like to admit it because she's one of the farm girls. Naughty Frankie. I wonder if she knows he's a lord. If she does, he may not find it so easy to get rid of her. She's very pretty, charming. And if Abercourt does marry her, she'll be a sensation in London with her good looks. I shall have to take her under my wing and introduce her to all the people who really matter. And then they'll have someone else to keep them amused when I leave town. I'm a lady, don't forget, with a sense of etiquette, and all I say is in the Daily Mail next day. Dances, music, halls and plays, drawing rooms and small soirees of Italy, good, and Paris. Oh, their great success to
lady from England.
The lady? The lady who wants to marry you? I see she has come to find you.
No, no, Dolores. She was just a friend of Mr. Gilfane's.
A friend of yours, too? She is what you English say, just to the job.
Oh, Dolores, don't be silly.
I'm never silly, never. Why did you kiss her?
Well, that was just because
I suppose it is what you call an old English custom.
Oh, Dolores, she is a very old friend and a good friend, and she's brought me some good news.
She was a long time telling it to you, and after what you told me this morning, I can't bear to see you speak to another woman.
Oh, darling child, don't upset yourself. I don't love her, it's you that I love.
Please, do not speak to her ever again.
I can't promise that, but I do promise that no one will ever come between us as long as we live. There, is everything all right now, darling?
Yes, it's all right now. But if she makes you kiss her again, I will scratch her eyes out.
Oh, these women.
When a man looks like that, he's either in love or sickening for something, and this man isn't sickening. Frank! Do excuse me for intruding. I quite forgot to tell you. I lost Angela Gilfane.
Oh, where did you see her last?
I told her to wait for me on the yacht. She's always up to some trick or other. She ran off, and now she might be running around this stupid old island like Robinson Crusoe in a white dress.
Oh, well, don't be afraid. She can't be far. It's only a very little island.
Yes, but she's a very little girl. Oh, lovely flowers.
Yes, they're the blossoms that we make the essence of Floradora from. Put them in the warehouse.
Don't have me put in the warehouse, Mr. Abercoin, please.
Miss Gilfane.
Oh, what a relief.
You thought I was lost?
Why were you hiding like that?
Just to get a rise out of you and Arthur, and because I'm so frightened of Pa.
Frightened of your father? But why?
Because he's changed his mind again.
About what?
Well, he promised to let me marry Arthur Donegal, and then in the middle of our trip across, he said I must not, that he wouldn't hear of such a thing.
But why?
Found someone else more suitable. Oh, I can't tell him. You tell him, Lady Holyrood.
You are to be the happy man. Mr. Gilfane wants you to marry Angela.
I'm sorry, but that's quite impossible.
Of course it is. I'm so fond of Arthur.
You see, I told him the story of the lost Lord Abercoin on the yacht, and he must have guessed it was you. And he wants his daughter to be an English peeress, like all these millionaires. They will do it.
Don't worry, Miss Gilfane. I promise faithfully not to marry you.
Oh, thank you. That is so sweet of you. And you will tell Papa so and persuade him to let me marry Arthur.
Oh, there you are, Angela. Frank Abercoin. Oh, I do beg your pardon. I should have said Lord Abercoin.
Lord Abercoin?
Oh, yes, he's a lord now, with a seat in the House of Peers.
You, Lord Abercoin of Abercoin Castle?
Yes, that's my family place, though there's not much of it left for me.
There's nothing left of it.
How do you know?
Why, that is the place Papa bought to turn into the European Emporium for the sale of Floradora.
And he wants the title to go with the estates to his daughter. Arthur, you must look sharp. You cannot find the heiress every day.
Oh, bother the heiress. I hate money.
Hate money? What blasphemy!
Well, I mean, I hate it like anything I don't know much about. But I love Angela.
And we won't give each other up.
Oh, not much.
Never mind, your father will consent by and by when he sees how fond you are of each other. After all, everyone ought to marry for love.
And you'll tell my Papa that you won't marry me on any account.
Oh, I will certainly talk to your father. What a complicated business this falling in love is. I wonder how they managed in the old days. Still, cheer up, Donegal. I give you my word not to elope with your fiancée, and good hunting to you.
Oh, thanks, pal.
Wait for me a moment, Lord Abercoin. Arthur, come here. I won't let my plans be upset. You must marry money. Once you start living on other people's charity, you'll soon find that charity begins at home and stays there.
There, you see? You need not be afraid. The rival isn't a bit anxious. Lord Abercoit almost said he wouldn't have me as a gift.
He's a twerp not to want you. You know, my darling, his temptation is very great. Though he is a lord, he's as poor as a church mouse.
Are not all the lords poor? I heard in England nowadays the peerage was a wretched profession to be brought up to.
Still, American girls do like to collect them. But you won't change your mind, will you?
No, but I shall not wait for you like an old maid. Youth is the time for love.
Oh, it certainly is, my darling. And oh boy, am I in a hurry.
Love in its youth is a fiery steed, galloping, galloping, galloping gaily.
Needing no spur as he'll wildly speed, over new pastures gaily, daily, daily.
Taking the bit, his teeth between.
Faster and faster,
Looking no faster.
over the ditches and hedges so green, over the green.
Over the green.
Light to the future and threaten disaster, galloping, galloping, gaily, gaily. Woman's the driver and loves the steed,
And carries the burden
daily.
so keep him in training the life within.
Goes galloping, galloping, gaily.
So keep him in training the life within.
Goes galloping, gaily, gaily on. Goes galloping, gaily, gaily on. Galloping, 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 gaily.
Love when it cometh in middle age, different hearts altogether.
Willing to trot with his achy pace, learning the length of his tail, the tail.
Gentles and peace, the wind is it true?
Trot with less danger,
Not of the wager.
shorten the breath of flights of you, flights of you.
Lights of you.
Never is likely to boat with a stranger, steadily, steadily, ambling, ambling. Woman's the driver and loves the steed,
And carries the burden daily. So keep him in training the life indeed.
goes galloping, galloping, gaily.
So keep him in training the life indeed.
Goes galloping, gaily, gaily on. Goes galloping, gaily, gaily on. Galloping, 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 gaily, gaily.
That's not a good one. Where'd you hear it?
I got it from the sailor.
Let me see what you say your name was. Treacle Punch?
Pardon me, Tweedle Punch. My photograph.
Damn your photograph. That's the 25th I've been handed this morning. I'm all over photographs. What do you think I'm, a walking album?
Don't lose your temper, Gilly.
Don't call me Gilly, I don't like
But
it.
don't you play my photographs about. They cost me 1 and 6 1,000.
There's another one. Pick it up before I take through. Oh. And do you really mean to tell me you can ensure universal happiness?
Yes, I can, with the assistance of the science I practice.
You don't say.
But I do say.
Yeah, but do say what?
Won't the faintest idea.
But tell me, what is the price, the nature of this science?
I trade in bumps.
Bumps?
Don't be so inquisitive. And always remember, a lady's feelings are easily bruised, bumped, hurt.
This ain't going to no place.
I didn't think you wanted to go any place.
Well, look here, you dumb bunny. Stop batting the breeze and hand me the dope about this science. Come on, shoot, boy.
Stick 'em up! My theory is, for every woman born into the world, there's a man born to match her.
I know a lot of women who are looking for a man like that.
But my science saves them the trouble. By phrenological examination, I discover nature's affinities, pair them up, and there you are.
So if you want to make two people happy, you select them and then hitch them up together.
I aided by phrenology.
Terrific. You're just the man I'm looking for.
You're not thinking of marrying again, are you?
Now, I'm not so sure, but I have a daughter.
A daughter, eh?
Yeah, I wish her to marry.
I will find her affinity.
A natural affinity of an American heiress is an English peer. The House of Lords ought to be grateful to Christopher Columbus.
There's not a House of Lords on the island.
No, but there is a Lord.
You split the bid for, brother.
My head clerk, Abercoit, is really Lord Abercoit. He doesn't know that I know. Ain't that the goods?
Yes, no, quite so.
He's under a cloud.
A cloud?
No, a social clown.
I'm a social clown.
Say, Professor, what would you do if I were to give you £500?
Mr. Gilfane, this is too much. Such beautiful words strike me dumb. Do you want something bumped off? No. Well, what dazzling deed do you want me to give it for £500?
I only said supposing.
I knew you'd change your mind. You didn't really mean it.
No, but if my daughter Angela could marry Lord Abercourt, I should be very grateful to science.
And show your gratitude in a substantial manner, I understand.
Of course, I'm a man of business.
At a glance,
Now, there's something else that science could be induced to do.
Science is open to reason, providing there's enough of it. Science is golden.
Professor, a word in your ear.
I think he's going to throw a rude one. What is it?
No, I don't really.
Oh, go on, and I'll tell you that one about the barmaid from Balham. Have a go, Joe.
Okay, I'll come clean.
Shoot that jam, Sam.
I've got a favourite amongst the farm girls.
You saucy old treacle puss.
Of course, she's nothing particular.
Well, they never are much.
And of course, a man in my position couldn't marry of his own accord.
No, you couldn't. But if nature especially designed it for you, then you'd yield.
But do you really mean to tell me you can tell the future merely by feeling the bumps?
Yes, I can, sir. It all depends if the subject is single. When they're married, they sometimes develop bumps that aren't natural. Any questions?
The terms would be?
Well, 500 for coupling the two couples. That's the most I could take.
500 nothings.
Oh, 500 somethings, you know, bees and honey.
I'll give you $10 per bump and you can feel every bump on the island.
No, there might only be one bump on the island and that might be in a very awkward place.
$10?
No.
Take it.
Couldn't think of it.
Leave it.
Take it. But can you make them believe in me?
They'll do anything I ask. I'm master here.
What a lovely odour.
That's my perfume, Floradora.
You own Floradora?
Yes, and the secret's known only to myself.
Your own discovery?
Of course.
Liar. With my words, he stole it.
Ah, Mr. Gilfane, are you engaged?
So no, we're just good friends.
Only with Professor Tweedlepunch, phrenologist.
Pardon me, from Olympia, London, my photograph, taken with a skunk. There's a skunk.
You surprised me.
Nothing private, Lady Holloway.
No, we were discussing the science of marriage.
Marriage isn't a science, it's an art.
An art that has a whole world for an academy.
Professor Tweedlepunch has a system of marriage that makes everybody happy.
Oh, you ought to patent it. Does your system apply to second marriages too, Mr. Tweedlepunch?
Watch out, Gilly. She's up to her tickle her tricks again. Science isn't stingy. It goes as far as you like.
What a pity you didn't live in Bluebeard's time.
Oh, Bluebeard had a system all of his own. Till he got run down.
Are you thinking of marrying again, Mr. Gilfane?
Are you Lady Holloway?
Would you two like to be hello?
I never think seriously about anything else. What is the use of being a widow if you don't profit by one's experience? I want to marry a man, I do.
She does. She do.
I want to tell you my plan, I do.
She does. She do.
There's no use in looking about each day for husbands either dull or gay. I've got to get one who will get my way. If I want to get one who will do, I do.
She does. She do.
You've got to get hold of the right one and all will be right as right can be. The target is right that you'll like one and find it all perfectly. You don't want to stay out all night one who will love you then afternoon tea. If you only get hold of the right one, it's easy as ABC.
That's it.
It's easy as ABC. A husband I want to adore, I do.
She does.
She do.
There's not been a husband before she do.
She does.
She do.
I don't want a husband who wears a low hat or goes to dine in Frankfurt flat.
Or one who's addicted to sleep on the mat.
No, I think I should know what to do. I do.
She does.
She do.
You've got to get hold of the right one and all will be right as right can be. The task isn't quite that you're not and not beautiful for a fee. You don't want to stay on the night one or one who will love you till afternoon tea. If you only get hold of the right one, it's easy as ABC.
As ABC.
It's easy as ABC. You've got to get hold of the right one and all will be right as right can be. The task isn't quite that you're not.
you like it?
All alone, Angela? That won't do, will it, boys? Someone ought to take care of Miss Gilfane.
Oh, boys, please, this is too overwhelming of you. I don't know which one of you to choose. Can't you help me to choose the Cavalier, girl?
Well, it's a rather difficult task.
You don't seem to have found it very difficult. You'd better go back to your friends, or else I shall be very unpopular.
But we'll do anything for you, Miss Gilfane.
Then get up and go back to your girls.
Angela, don't you feel the least bit romantic on this wonderful spot? We do.
Romantic? Well, a girl has to meet someone she likes very much before she can feel romantic.
But Angela, darling, there must be somebody you care for.
Well, yes, I suppose there is.
Perhaps Miss Gilfane would prefer to be alone with her thoughts.
But what use are thoughts for an escort on a romantic spot like this?
I quite agree, girls.
Thank you, Miss Gilfane, and we hope you'll be just as happy as we are with the one you like best of all.
Who is he, Angela? Do tell us.
You're being very inquisitive. What woman isn't? Well, he's just someone I like very much indeed.
And won't you tell the girls his name and put them out of their misery?
Well, since you really want to know, he's...
Yes?
It's just a fellow who might. There was a maiden decidedly fair and fairly decided in mind, who sought her affinity everywhere, but found him not easy to find.
She found him not easy to find, not easy to find, not she.
She passed all the men she knew in review and thought them acceptable right. In fact, she decided they'd none of them do.
None of them do.
Excepting a fellow who might.
Excepting a fellow who might.
The fellow who might, quite right, who might. At first their acquaintance was slight, but though nobody knew how it happened and grew, until they were very good friends by the two. The maiden with eyes of a beautiful blue, and the fellow who might, quite right.
The fellow who might. At first their acquaintance was slight, but though nobody knew how it happened and grew, until they were very good friends by the two. The maiden with eyes of a beautiful blue, and the fellow who might.
She spoke of the joys of a bachelor's life, so happy, so careless, so free. She'd not be a man who was tied to a wife. She'd never get married, not she.
She'd never get married, not she. Get married, no, not she.
She wondered that men should care to be wed, and fond of exceedingly good. Of course, when she put it in that way, he said,
That way he said,
Now, I wonder if this guy Tweedlepunch is really on the level, or just shooting me a line. Takes a smart bozo to put one over on Cyrus W. Gilfane. I've kept the secret of Floradora all these years, but if Dolores ever finds out, I've sure had it. I hope this phrenology business turns out all right, and my daughter Angela will marry Lord Abercoyle, and I can then marry Dolores, and get her to keep the secret safe forever. Leandro!
You want me, sir?
I want you to get everybody on the island here just as quick as you can rustle them up. So step on it, big boy. Now, my friends, I have some good news for you, so stand still while I shoot you the words. I'm going to try a plan to make you all happy.
Is it,
I've engaged Professor Tweedlepunch at enormous expense to examine your bumps. Yes, on his new and improved system, he will select suitable husbands and wives for you all. Now step this way, Professor, and do your stuff. Now, ladies and gentlemen, attend to the Professor, and one at a time, if you please.
We can't get married one at a time. You must at least take two.
In that case, one will be for export.
Professor, let science begin at once.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, before dispensing universal happiness, I wish to mention I'm the head of my profession. I have felt all the bumps on the crown heads of Europe and of the United States, and I must say I found them very bumptious. Now proceed. What, nothing doing?
Now, to show you the belief I have in the system I've inaugurated for your happiness, I am prepared...
Come along, Gilly.
to allow my daughter to submit herself to Professor Tweedlepunch's investigations.
Papa, who is this man?
Pardon me, my photograph.
Oh, Daddy, it looks like a real man.
Of course it's a real man. What do you think it is? Love I was lost?
Now, my dear, we shall see whom science intended you to marry.
I know already. Shall I ask him? Is it all right?
Oh, certainly. Do as Pop wishes you to, like a good little girl.
Miss Gilfane, allow me. Now, it's not as bad as having your hair curled. There we are. Oh, did I hurt you? Mr. Gilfane, I cannot carry out my investigation when the lady wears a fashionable hat.
Science ought to be above such trifles.
Phrenology lies beneath the hat, my dear.
Take off your lid, my dear.
Oh, here, got that. It's better. Mr. Gilfane, I find on your daughter's head...
Yes.
Bumps of truthfulness and simplicity, amiability and good nature, strong obedience, strongly developed. Oh, bump of affection sticks out like a watermelon.
You seem to be a good judge of character.
Oh.
After all, I shall keep your photograph.
Thank you very much indeed. You're about the only one that ever has. Mr. Gilfane, your daughter is scientifically fitted to marry a man of business habits and faultless character. This is to counterbalance the truth and simplicity of the wife. Now, had the bump of affection been on the ball of her foot instead of the centre of her head, I would have advised Kelly's corn cure and a dish of cornflakes. I remember corn once. What am I talking?
I don't know what you're talking about, but listen. My head clerk, my daughter. Daughter, head clerk, don't you tumble?
I don't mind a tumble down the sink.
What I'm getting at you, brother, what do you mean a tumble down the sink?
A drink. Tumble down the sink, drink. Very funny. I see, that one under a cloud. Head clerk, will you place your head clerk, your clerk's head here?
Certainly not. The whole idea is ridiculous. Married by science, I've never heard such rubbish in my life. I shall marry the girl that I love, not who you say.
Oh.
So put that on your needles and knit it, Mr. Tweedlepunch.
Oh, do try it, Mr. Abercoyle. It's quite jolly, really.
Yes, my boy, do have a dab.
I don't mind if I do.
What do you mean, sir?
Weren't you referring to the old gargle?
Certainly not. Get on with your work.
Oh, very well, but your decision will not affect mine.
15-2, 15-4, one for his knob. Have you got the right head, sir? 19 and a half, 23 and 3/4. Oh, do you want side pockets on hips? I present to you, Mr. Gilfane, with the son-in-law scientists selected for you.
Son-in-law? Wonderful. We are but poor worms in the hands of science. I had hoped my daughter might have done better. But I submit.
Submit? You submit indeed? Well, understand this. I'm not submitting. I'm going to marry Arthur Donegal, whether you like it or not. And as for you, Mr. Tweedlepunch, you're a wicked, interfering worm. You're so low you could crawl under a door with a top hat on and not done it.
Oh, did you see that, Gilly? She pushed me in my prefabrication.
Now, Mr. Gilfane, please be reasonable. I want to marry Angela, and Abercourt does not. Now do you, Frank?
Certainly not. And I don't intend to, in spite of this muddling trickster.
Who's a fuddling trickster? Who's next?
What are you all doing?
We're all going to get married.
What, by machinery?
No, by natural selection.
I call it most unnatural.
Professor, this is my favourite farm girl.
I take your favourite farm girl. Her favourite farm girl, my photograph. Huh. Someone's found a cookie cigar.
An open-air meeting. I wonder what glorious institution they wish to destroy now.
No, it's marriage by mutual consent.
Oh, short shot, Mr. Gilfane.
Don't you think I'm a little too old to marry?
A man is never too old to marry when he's rich.
Okay, I'll have a bash.
Come along, Gilly. It's very breezy for me. You didn't have any more snow this summer. You have a fine head, sir.
You don't say.
A massive head.
So I've been told.
You said it.
What?
If I might say, a fat head.
You ain't fun, brother.
What have we here? And here, and here. Remarkable.
What is it?
She doesn't know, he doesn't know, I don't know. Bumps.
Bumps?
Bumps of robbery, largely developed. Bump of false pretences, habitual, enormous. Criminality sticks out like a cannonball.
Do you know, you're getting right under my skin, Professor.
Not me, it's the bumps. To carry out my system to perfection, you should marry a girl of sound common sense, strength of purpose, courage and conviction.
Unfortunately, Professor, you're not understanding me at all here.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, I mean, it's something to do with me, I'll go and help the bumps.
Mr. Tweedlepunch.
Oh, yes.
Would you mind telling me the meaning of neither?
Oh, yes, certainly. Oh. You lovely today. Oh, dear. You're not doing there quick. Oh, there we are. Oh! You've got bumps like bags of marbles. Oh. I don't know if this is a bump or a wall.
Oh. Mr. Tweedlepunch, if nature finds me the right man to marry, nature might be very generous to you, Mr. Tweedlepunch. Get me?
Not tonight, Josephine.
Hold everything, big boy. Bargain on the other side of the shop. Favourite dame?
What, the slick chick with the slicky stalks? Some other time, dear, when the sale's over.
But you haven't told me the meaning of my bump.
I've got a prior engagement.
Oh, you don't know your business. You're an imposter.
Who's a bill poster?
What's your trouble?
I have no trouble, dear mother, now. What glorious tresses. They remind me of a hairdressing shop in Regent Street.
Where is Regent Street?
You don't know Regent Street, near Kissabilly, where all the boys and girls go for tea? Oh, my God. Oh, it's a hard life, isn't it?
Professor, this is not business. Get back to your work.
Well. Common sense like a turkey egg. Courage, you can hang your hat on it.
That's not a bump, Mr. Tweedlepunch. That is a comb. You're untidying my hair.
Science has graciously ordained your farm girl to be your wife.
His wife? Dolores?
Not if I can help it. I'm not going to see a millionaire wasted on a farm girl.
Dolores is for me. I married Dolores. Tweedlepunch, you're a wonderful man.
Mr. Tweedlepunch, you're a beastly, horrible, hateful, wicked beast. And I'd like to tear you into little pieces.
Oh.
Like this. How can you want Dolores to be my mother? It's ridiculous. You, for me?
Oh, no. Don't love you. I could never love you. And I won't marry you. I won't.
Oh, yes, you will. Come on, baby. Pucker up and give me a kiss.
Help me, help me.
What's this?
Mr. Gilfane wants to marry me and to kiss me. You won't let him, will you?
Don't be afraid. You shall not marry Mr. Gilfane. I protest against this plan. Give up this sham science. You shall not interfere in other people's love affairs. We marry who we want, not who you say.
Don't dare disobey me. I will not be contradicted by a mere clerk. Do as I order you. Marry Angela.
I will not.
That's something like a man.
You're fired.
Dismissed?
Yes, vamoose. Leave the island at once.
Very well, but I'll be no party to any scheme of this mountebank.
Mountebank? If that word means what I think it does, you'll be ashamed of yourself.
He shall not decide my future for me, and I deny your right to dictate to me on this. And I leave your service at once.
Oh, my lord.
Here I am, my dear.
But I'll never marry you.
What, never?
No, never.
What, base ingratitude?
Oh, Papa.
Don't speak to me for a couple of fortnights.
Oh, Professor, aren't you going to find us husbands?
I don't find husbands, I find bumps.
But what are bumps?
Phrenology. There is nothing we disparage like an ill-assorted marriage, so choose your wife with friends alike to care. For the realms beneath her bonnet has your future mapped upon it, so when you're engaged, take down her hair.
When you're engaged, take down her hair. When you're engaged.
Defeatings as you fumble with the digits, you reveal a well-developed upright. You may find the one day thinking you're a turtle, so restricting, be advised, and jilt her while there's time, and jilt her while there's time.
And jilt her while there's time. Be advised, and jilt her while there's time. Be advised, and jilt her while there's time.
So there's no waiting, you'll be drinking once when knowledge is defined. That's the virtue that will hurt you, and the vice in the mind. Set the science at defiance, and regret you're sure to come if you're ignoring every warning of the grey.
Yum, 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 no way, just be trading once when knowledge is defined. What is the virtue that will hurt you? Science at defiance, and to green you're sure to come if you are scorning every warning of the grey.
If the bumpy lump is bigger than the norm, you can figure out the number of a formula affair. It may look for much vexation from promiscuous flirtation of returning home unawares.
Returning home all unawares, all unawares.
There is likely then you kiss, and then you flighty when you kiss her. Oh, eternity bitching, and you only get caresses when she's ordering you dresses, and the most, not more than one a week, not more than one a week.
Not more than one a week. At the most, not more than one a week. At the most, not more than one a week.
Oh, the marriage we disparage is the usual blind affair. Just the scramble and the gamble and the blind very rare. Ere the crisis, my advice is with the big and your thought explore the mountains and the molehills of way.
Yum, 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 no way. If you're trading what you know, you can find what is the virtue and the virtue and the vice in the mind. Set the science at defiance, and to green you're sure to come if you are scorning every warning of the grey.
Mr. Tweedlepunch, a pretty mess you've made of it.
Yes, sir. I don't seem to have given entire satisfaction.
And what's the matter with you?
My head clerk will marry my daughter, the upstart.
You promised Angela to my brother.
Did I? Well, I've altered my mind.
Right, into the post office. We'll adjourn the meeting.
Mr. Tweedlepunch, you better get cracking and fix up these marriages before a little civil war breaks out on this old island of ours. Now you attend to your business, you sad sack, before I attend to you.
And we will attend to the Professor.
I will now go and attend to the other patients.
Oh, no, you don't. We have something to say to you first.
But I'll arrange your happiness.
Yes, and I am going to arrange for yours. Can you fight?
Don't be common. I disapprove of violence entirely.
Then why did you interfere with us?
And why should I marry a man I do not want?
Bumps!
Oh, you'll be bumps all over before I finish with you.
Bumps of ferocity sting out like a cannonball.
I'll give you one last chance to retrieve yourself.
Madam, I'm not a retriever. I'm a Scotch whisky, Scotch terrier.
Don't you think you could arrange a more suitable match for Mr. Gilfane? What can be the result of a marriage between a millionaire and a farm girl? What would you do for me if I were to offer you £500?
I should be ashamed to tell you. Science is a mere baby in the hands of the ever-ready.
It's better than the art of self-defense.
Oh, put him up! Put him up!
When an interfering person such as you makes a fuss because he's nothing else to do.
Putting happy fellows under there is very little wonder that we find our tempers rising high, high, high.
When we show our boiling wrath and murder pride, you have only got your silly self to thank.
For we're bent on demonstrating that the man's irritating.
It's a jumper
And a bumper.
for abuses. We're intent on letting fly, fly, fly. For though you're getting it, a man, don't you forget, when opposition wants you met, will cost you dear to pay the debt. We'll make you really understand. We've got you hand in hand. For men like dollies have to swing for follies, and the martyrdom is no marionette. For men like dollies have to swing for follies, and the martyrdom is no marionette.
Leandro, see to my luggage.
Are you really going?
I must, my darling, after what Mr. Gilfane has said.
And what is to become of me?
But I shall come back. Surely you can trust me.
But I could trust you just as well if I went with you. Please take me.
No, Dolores, much though I love you, I cannot take you with me.
But why? I do not understand.
Because first I must find out what the world has in store for us in our future before I can ask you to share it with me as my wife. Look, Dolores, out there is the most beautiful blue sea, so clear that sunbeams are reflected in its deepest pools as your love for me is reflected in your dear eyes, my darling. And no matter where I am or what I am doing, you will always be in my thoughts, waiting for me neath the shade of the beautiful palm.
There is a garden fair set in an eastern sea. There is a maid keeping her tryst with me. In the shade of the palm
be angry.
Not angry.
Well, what happens when you are? I know what it is. You're peevish. It's past your bedtime. You haven't taken your glaxo. Cheer up. You'll soon be married.
I know I shall, but not to Mr. Gilfane. I am going to marry Mr. Abercoid. You understand that?
Marry discharged bank clerk? Absurd. Besides, you'll hurt Mr. Gilfane's feelings.
I don't want to do that. He has always been kind to me.
Have you known him long?
Ever since I was a baby. I was born on this island.
Born on Floradora. Tell me, what was your father's name?
Ferrando Gizara.
Fernando Gizara? Are you sure?
Yes.
I found her! I found her!
Why, you silly man, I have been here all of the time.
I didn't know that, but Mr. Gilfane did. That's why he wanted to marry you. Never. You should marry Mr. Abercoid or myself or some other blackguard. Don't laugh. I know I'm no oil painting, but Mr. Gilfane never. I have spoken. To be or not to be? That is the question. Does anybody know the answer?
Yes, dear, I'm free to marry you.
Oh, this is so sudden. What, a free lunch? Mr. Gilfane never. He's a worm. He's an insect. He's a starfish. He's a Cova di Capolo.
Alejandro.
Si, senor.
That's him. What's been annihilating, Gilly?
Don't call me Gilly.
You know me.
Of course I know you. My best friend. Put it there, pal. Shake.
He give me the grip. He's a member of the Goose Club. I can't give him away now.
What, you still here? I thought I told you to leave the island. Go.
And I'm not going to be told again. I'm going.
And I'll go too. I'll go with him. I'll follow him to the end of the world.
Oh, no, you won't. You belong to me. You're mine.
And mine.
The maids we only paid are giving us away. For girls that we adore without the least apology are now assigned to make men who love the girls instead. Scientific fraud, the worst of all my darling, our maids we only paid are giving us away. For girls that we adore without the least apology are now assigned to make men who love the girls instead.
Broken-hearted, for you now are free. to love and marry me. He will not return to claim you. You deserted, none shall blame you if you marry me. Yes, marry me.
No one will blame you if you love and marry me.
If there's hurry, surely you don't need to worry, for there's no suspicion will be swimming in the sea. For a millionaire to live in business matters matrimony, all you might do worse than wait for me, do worse than wait for me.
So leave alone the broken-hearted, for him now has set you free. And you deserve to not complain you if he's fine to be to be. But despite your worst endeavors, you be true to him.
my brother arrived?
Yes, your ladyship. Captain Donegal is here.
Ask him to come to me here.
Yes, my lady.
Well, that's one step in the right direction. I've made Gilfane see that for the sake of propriety, I must have my relations with me. There's nothing like a few relations around you at the right time to make a man realize how much nicer it is for him to have you to himself. And if he does want you to himself, then the best way for him to get his way is to let the lady get her way, marry the man.
Captain Donegal, my lady.
Here you are at last, Arthur. Let Miss Angela know that Captain Donegal is here.
Yes, my lady.
You certainly are a most useful sister. I never thought you'd get me an invitation here.
Oh, I insisted. I told Gilfane that my reputation would suffer if I stayed here any longer without my family around me. That either you must come or I must go.
Still, you're in a funny sort of position. Is Gilfane weakening? Are you going to marry him?
I don't know, Arthur. He's still worried about this girl Dolores, but why on earth he wants to marry her, I cannot imagine. But I shall find out.
You usually do, my darling.
Now, look here, Arthur. You want a rich wife, and I want a rich husband. And in return for his riches, I shall be a dutiful wife. What more could any man desire?
I know. But when I think of it like that, I feel disgusted with myself.
Disgusted? About money? Oh. The boy is unwell.
It's just that I love her so much. My sweet little darling Angela.
Oh, darling, you have got it bad. But she's a sweet little thing, and when you are married, take great care of her.
You don't normally talk like that, do you?
No, I know I don't. But I've got a very soft heart, my pet. And I sometimes wish I had someone to love me the way you love Angela.
Then I hope it will all come right for you. In the meantime, what is your position here? I suppose you are his housekeeper. Good wages and find your own beer. Any followers allowed, eh?
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Arthur! Every new millionaire requires a lady of title to look after his social advancement. I am a society folk and have control over the whole establishment.
Oh, Arthur, I'm so glad to see you again.
And I'm glad to see you. I was afraid your father wouldn't let me come here.
He wouldn't, but for Lady Holyrood insisting upon it.
Well, here I am now. So tell me, how does Mr. Gilfane get on?
Worse and worse. Since he bought Abercoid Castle and the estates and came to live in England, he's even more ridiculous than ever.
A rich man is never considered ridiculous in England, Angela.
But Papa overdoes it. Why, he insists on me having 4 Spanish ladies and calling them my maids of honor. Oh, Arthur, it's so embarrassing. I'm positively ashamed of my own father.
Don't worry, Angela. It will all come right in the end. You trust Lady Holyrood. By the way, has there been any news of Frank Abercoid since he left the island of Floradora?
Not a word. Why?
Because Frank Abercoid is a good fellow. Even though he has the misfortune of being a lord, through no fault of his own.
Arthur, please. Remember my poor late husband was a lord.
Oh, but that was a long time ago.
Arthur, don't be rude.
What has happened to Frank Abercoid? Doesn't anyone know?
No, nothing has been heard of him since he left the island. He seems to have disappeared altogether.
He is wonderful for keeping up disappearances.
Now, about our little bit of business. Are we to be married with dear Papa's consent, or do we take French leave? I don't mind which. I have a brother, a parson, who'll do the job for nothing.
He says he still believes in Tweedledum's science. He says nature cannot make mistakes.
Nature? Not make mistakes? How absurd. Think of the original colour of my hair.
What was the original colour of your hair, my darling?
I haven't the faintest idea.
He says if I don't marry Lord Abercoid, I must marry a nobleman. He says the Anglo-Saxon race is in harmony because of the marriages of American girls to English peers.
Oh, he's quite wrong. England and America owe their present friendship. Oh, but I hear your father. We'll leave Arthur to it.
Oh, no fear. I'm coming too.
when you're a millionaire, remember to pull the wine and such. Throw your money in the air, you'll never be told you threw too much. Take a castle of gorgeous splendor for your daughters and you're a ball. Let a dozen of footmen attend her as she crosses the crowded road. Let your noble guests be bloated with peas that cost a guinea each. And in case it isn't noted, mention the price in every speech. Every hobby you must take up, be it diamonds or a yacht. And to professional beauties wake up even though you'd rather not. And the nation will declare you are, when they see what a millionaire you are. A blessing and boon to the country which soon will grant you a peerage, and there you are. The nation will declare you are, when they see what a millionaire you are. A blessing and boon to the country which soon, by way of requital, will grant you a title, and there you are. Run an evening journal, whether be green or rosy tint, in which your doings diurnal or will appear in largest print, such as we heard he bagged the keeper when on the moors he shot today. But he finds the grouse much cheaper when they're bought in the usual way. Keep many a training stable, though your horses never win. Join the very best club you're able, though they go out when you go in. Run a theatre if it tangles, you will get behind the scenes with your money causing wrangles with the various footlight queens. Nation will declare you are, when they see what a millionaire you are. A blessing and boon to the country which soon will grant you a title, and there you are. The nation will declare you are, when they see what a millionaire you are. A blessing and boon to the country which soon, every title will grant you a title, and there you are. Business before pleasure. Now to business. Secretary of the Home Department, forward.
Sir?
How's our popularity?
Not as I would like it, sir. There seem to be few agitators amongst the tenants who find fault with you.
Dear me, I give them game, caviar, salmon, pâté de foie gras, and champagne. What do these agricultural classes want?
They would like a little time to themselves, sir, so they can attend to their farms and their families.
I'll try and manage one Sunday afternoon. That'll be all.
Sir.
Secretary of Board of Trade. Is our business increasing?
Exports increase hourly. The home consumption of Floradora is enormous. This morning's mail tenders you the usual offers to turn you into a limited company on your own terms. Shares are already quoted on the stock exchange.
But we have no shares.
Oh, that makes no difference. People at the stock exchange often deal in properties that don't exist.
Quite right. What about our personality? Are we becoming known to the British public?
Every paper sings your praises in paragraph ecstasy. Your racehorses are tipped for all the important events. You're reported to be the parliamentary candidate for any vacancy that may occur on either side of the House. Your yacht is more firmly believed in than the very latest automobile. And there's a nasty snack about you in this week's Kent and Sussex Courier.
And I'm becoming famous at last. Anything else?
Yes, sir. They're singing about you in all the London theatres.
And did all the dames faint?
I believe they did.
Well, tell them to die next time and show me proper respect.
Very good, sir.
Secretary of Foreign Affairs. Don't rush. Don't overdo it. Don't want you to hurt yourself. What's the matter?
I don't think I'm very well.
I'm certain of that. Seen a doctor?
Yes.
And what did he say?
Nothing. When I saw him, he was at the other end of the street.
Somebody take this away and painlessly destroy it, will you? Oh, you can forget the painlessly. Minister of the Internal?
Sir.
Has anything been seen of that swindler Tweedle Punch and the girl I'm engaged to, Dolores?
No, sir. But we have consulted Scotland Yard and engaged dozens of private detectives. But so far...
So far what?
The detectives have drawn their pay with the greatest of regularity. But the professor and the lady have not been heard of since they left the island of Floradora.
Well, you better tell those sad sacks to study the methods of Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, sir.
By the way, if anybody wants me, I've gone to join the Millionaires Union.
Yes, sir.
Maiden, are there any more at home like you?
There are a
most particular girl should
I may love you too well to let you go and flirt with those at home, you know.
Well, don't mind, little girl, you'll see I only want
It's not quite fair to them if you told them that you were
I don't care a thing for your sisters if you love me.
What would you say if I said I liked you well?
I bow to you.
On bended knee,
On bended knee.
if I loved you, would you tell me what I ought to do to keep you all mine alone? To always be true to me if I loved you. Would it be a silly thing to do? For I must love someone.
Then why not me?
Yes, I must love someone really, and it might as well be you. Tell me, gentle stranger, are there any more at home like you?
There are a few, sweet maid, and hotter boys you never knew.
Then tell me, gentle sir, the these very rakish fellows do.
They may better
Please tell me what
and
is
it's not the same girl twice.
Then take me round and let me show for an hour or so how far such fellows can really
I never introduced them to a girl. I intend to be my most particular friend.
I don't mind what we do. No man would ever flirt with
It's
me.
not worth risking it. I know with them you won't
I don't want to
agree.
know then if you will do the flirting.
Of course I will try, but we're doing very well.
I bow to you.
On bended knee.
On bended knee, I loved you. Would you tell me what I ought to do to keep you all mine alone? To always be true to me if I loved you. Would it be a silly thing to do? For I must love someone.
Then why not me?
Yes, I must love someone really, and it might as well be you.
So all this grandeur doesn't suit you then?
No, I don't care for it a bit.
That's all right. You'll have none of it when you marry me.
You see, I feel we have no right to the castle and all this grandeur. This place used to belong to Lord Abercowen.
Oh yes, everything used to belong to somebody else at some time or other, but your father bought the place and it's his now.
All the same, I can't help thinking that it still belongs to Lord Abercowen. A rich man may buy a fine place, but it always seems to belong to those whose name it bears.
Cheer up, and don't be unhappy because you are rich. That's a terrible complaint. Heavens, I know how you feel about poor old Abercowen, but I'm afraid we can't say to him, here's your castle, little chap, and hand it out to him on a plate as if it were his lunch.
All the same, I can't help wishing we could. This place might be ours because my father bought it, but it still seems to belong to Lord Abercowen's family. Oh, think of all the wonderful traditions connected with a place like this and the family of Abercowen. No wonder it won't do. Pop might own the bricks and mortar that are Abercowen Castle, but he'll never own or conquer the spirit and soul of the place. That will remain in the possession of the Abercowen family as long as there is a brick of this building left standing.
What a grave and thoughtful little wife I'm going to have one day.
If only Lord Abercoit could come back here and claim what is his by right of birth. That Arthur is a greater right than any other in the world.
I shall begin to think my future wife is in love with another man soon. I've got it. You want to be Lady Abercoit.
No, you goose, nor lady anything else. The title has no attraction for me. I don't want to dissipate before or ruin his ambition. But there's only one man in the world I would marry.
And that is just me.
Why, of course it is. Now go to your sister, Arthur. She wants you.
I don't want my sister.
Arthur, go.
Oh, very well. I shall obey you now. But you wait until we are married.
And Arthur, if I want you, I'll whistle for you.
Yes, my darling.
Arthur, I forgot to tell you.
Yes.
I forgot to tell you that I love you very much.
Hello. Who do we have here?
Excuse me, sir. Do you wish to see Mr. Gilfane? No, I just wanted to look around the castle, if that's permitted.
Well, Mr. Gilbane, the present owner, is very proud of the place. I'm sure he'd be delighted for you to see over it. I'll try and get him for you.
No, don't trouble.
It's no trouble, I'll get him.
Stop.
Why? What's the matter with you? Why don't you wish to see Mr. Gilfane? Who are you? Frank Abercoit! Why, all that's wonderful! Why, where have you been since you left the island of Floradora? And what are you doing here now?
I just thought I'd like to look round my old home once more.
Oh, my dear Abercoit, it's so good to see you.
Lord Abercoit! I'm delighted you've arrived. But don't have Pop see you. He's still furious. You won't marry me.
You must forgive my abrupt visit, Miss Gilfane, but I just wanted to see Abercoit Castle for the last time. I just wanted to look around the old pile once more.
Ah, my dear Lord Abercoit, the very man I've been wanting to see for weeks.
Oh, how nice to receive and welcome to one's own home, Lady Holyrood, especially when one is no longer the owner.
Tell me, Frank Abercoit. What have you been doing since you left the island?
Well, when I got back to England, I found that there was nothing left for me here but my title.
Why, that's worth something if you take it to the city.
Oh, no, Lady Holyrood, I'm through with the city, and now I have seen my old home for the last time. I'm going before Mr. Gilfane sees me.
Oh, no, you're not. Not yet. You're going to stay right here.
But Mr. Gilfane would never permit it.
He will never know.
Sorry, but it can't be done.
It can, and it shall be done. Now, listen to me. I have an idea there'll be some more unexpected visitors at Abercoit Castle before the day is through. And unless I'm very mistaken, some very funny things are about to happen. And you, Frank Abercoit, have got to stay here and like it. Please do this. I promise you won't regret it. And you'll probably live to bless the day you took my advice.
Oh, very well. What you say goes. I may as well be hung for a sheep as a lamb. But first thing in the morning, I'm packing my bags and I'm going back to the island of Floradora.
What for?
To find Dolores. I've been utterly miserable without her.
Perhaps you won't have to go away from here as quickly as you think you will. And who knows, perhaps Dolores isn't quite so far away as you might imagine.
What do you mean? Tell me, please.
I can't tell you yet. It's just a suspicion of mine. But if it is correct, then you will bless this visit to Abercoit Castle. Arthur? Angela? Take Lord Abercoit to my private suite, and don't let Mr. Gilfane know he's here, or everything will be ruined. It is curious, I have never met a man who isn't miserable about some woman or other.
Oh, my lady.
Yes, Melina, what is it?
We can't get rid of those people who came to the kitchen door.
Mr. Gilfane told you to throw them out.
But they won't let me.
Well, who are they? What are they like?
Well, The man is a very queer-looking person. He wanted to give me his photograph.
His photograph? That sounds familiar. Are you sure there is a lady as well?
Well, there is a female, my lady.
It's the same thing in these days of degeneration. Bring them to me, the leader, and don't let anyone know they're here.
No, my lady.
If it is Tweedlepunch, he may help my plans, but it's a pity he's brought Dolores. She may upset them. Ah, no, there's no great fear of her marrying Gil Fane while Abby Coed is on the premises. Come here, both of you. And tell me why you're here and who you are.
We are the Praxis.
Why the Praxis?
For as it is, for as it isn't. Hi-ho!
Perhaps it's Mr. Tweedlepunch and Dolores. Ha-ha! I thought so. Now, what are you two doing here? Have you come to marry Mr. Gilfane, Dolores?
No, I shall never marry Mr. Gilfane, and you shall never marry Lord Abercoid.
My dear Dolores, please be sensible. I have no wish to marry Lord Abercoid.
Then why did you kiss him on the island?
It's a funny place to kiss anybody.
Now, Dolores, listen to me. This has gone far enough. Frank Abercoid and I are old friends, and nothing more. And anyway, he's in love with you and intends to marry you.
That's it, Dolores. Remember the old school motto. Marry in haste and repent with the lodger.
But where is he?
Oh, the lodger?
He is here, Dolores, but Mr. Gilfane must not know.
Take me to him, please, Lady Holyrood.
I shall, all in good time. Now, you must continue to pretend you are strolling players.
We look like a couple of woodbines.
Oh, don't interrupt, Mr. Tweedlepunch.
I say, Lady Holyrood, do you mind if I just call you Holy and leave the rude part out?
Don't be rude, Mr. T.
It's only a teeny rude, lady, ain't? Teeny-weeny one.
I don't like even little rudes, Mr. T.
I know. You're nice big rudes like Dick Turpin's rude.
Dick Turpin's rude?
How did you find that out?
I did not find it out. What do you mean about Dick Turpin's rude?
When you got yours, Black Besson, rude to York. Oh.
That's quite enough about anything. Now, come here and attend to me. You must give a show here before Miss Gilfane, the servants and guests. Afterwards, I'll take you into the castle. Now, will you do it?
Provided we get union rates, yes.
And remember, Dolores, your future, Lord Abercoid's future, and my future depends on this. And Mr. Tweedlepunch, I want to have a long talk with you.
In the near future?
I have a feeling you know a lot more about certain things connected with Floradora than one might suspect.
Don't be so jolly simple, Holly.
Oh, look out! Here comes Mr. Gilfane. Put your mask back on. Ah, there you are, Miss Gilfane. I've been looking for you. I've got a surprise for you.
That's swell. By the way, Lady Holyrood, did the tenants' luncheon go off all right?
Oh, the same as usual. They ate, grumbled, and drank success to all the national institutions, including delirium tremens. But I forgot to tell you, I've engaged a novelty for the tenants tonight. I have engaged the Praxis.
The perhapses? Who are they?
Strolling musicians with their faces covered over. They're all the fashion this season.
Well, if they're all the fashion, we better have them.
I feel a funny without my skirt.
Oh, be a man.
A what?
A woman, but like a man. No, you're not pretty. I'm sure you'll find them most entertaining, Mr. Gilfane.
I hope so, Lady Holyrood.
Well, we're in at last.
Routine, entree, French. Me Lord Gilfane, I believe.
Lord Gilfane? Did you hear what she called me? Lord Gilfane? What's she chopping about?
Search me, pal.
Hush!
Oui.
I wish my French wasn't so rusty.
I'll galvanise it for him presently.
Will you play us a little cadenza?
Oh, oui. A little cadenza.
Une nous c'est ça. Ain't that beautiful? All played on the inside of a poor little pussycat.
You leave it up to me, old chap.
Idiot!
Look, if I don't know my business, and I can't speak, it's like ruining it to him.
Be quiet, Mr. Two. Oui.
I've given him wee 25 times already.
Give it to him another 25. He won't. No.
Willie, another 25 times. You don't know, but you soon will. I'm going to tell you such a beautiful bedtime story.
Oh, my lord, we are living Australis Parisian, patronized by all of the royalty of Cows and Newmarket. We have come here from the royal palace.
Of varieties.
What was that?
Bollocks! Give him your imitation of someone impersonating someone else.
Très magnifique or très bon, très rotten.
Did you hear that? He said it was rotten.
Yes, I did. He's quite right.
Go and do something.
I'll go and do something. Can they see Pa? Can you see Ma?
I can't say that I do.
Can you see Pa? He should be here. I bought him a ticket. Say see wee, come on.
I didn't quite catch the twiddly bits.
You've got no bumps.
Bumps?
A genius.
What's the cheese you're talking about?
My poor cousin. He gets a little bit excited like all the musical geniuses. He is what you call a little bit off the top. The musical geniuses are quite mad.
Well, let's see what you can do.
We're both on the stage, we two. There's nothing that we can't do. We're remarkably fine in the Gaiety line, and we reverence Shakespeare too.
Why, Juliet's great I know, the monkey named to show. My friend on the right, though he's rather a sight, will portray Romeo.
Sing a song of sweet flirtation, for our style is versatile. Everything we do is sure to be the rage. Mendelssohn or variation, any sort of imitation, will show what they can do when they're on the stage.
In opera we excel, and the first Lord William Tell.
But I look so sweet when I play Marguerite.
And it plays out quite well.
Come down this girl, of course, they carry forth to return every year, and will always appear wherever we're Sing a song to sweet flirtation, for the style is versatile. Everything we do is sure to be the rage. Mendelssohn or variation, any sort of imitation, they'll show what they can do when they're on the stage.
We're awfully good as a buffoon. We can always behave as a loon. But we're not paradox in the woods, we're all locked in the time of the moon. Let's take off and we'll do. We think about time for soon. But we really don't know what we should, so we just leave it to you.
Sing a song of sweet flirtation, for our style is versatile. Everything we do is sure to be the rage. Mendelssohn or variation, any sort of imitation, they'll show what they can do when they're on the stage.
Well, so far so good. I've managed to get Lord Abercoid, Dolores and Tweedlepunch safely into the castle, and now to have a talk with Tweedlepunch, and then things will certainly begin to happen in Abercoid Castle.
Ah, here you are, Lady Holyrood.
Oh, it went off all right?
Very well indeed. You're a wonderful manageress, Lady Holyrood.
Oh, it's very easy to manage things when you have other people's money to do it with.
I'm a little worried about Dolores, who's run away.
You're still thinking of her? You really might do better.
Well, it's only a business arrangement.
Then retire from business. A man in your position ought to marry more suitably.
More suitably?
Well, you could take your pick. Any woman would be glad to knock at the door of a man who has a nugget for a door knocker. You ought to take a fancy to a woman of good social position, a smart woman who knows her way about.
That's what I want, a woman like yourself.
Oh, really, Mr. Gilfane, you flatter me.
Not at all, Lady Holyrood. Have you ever thought of marrying again?
Never.
Well, you should. A woman as attractive as you are.
Well, perhaps I will if the right man comes along.
Supposing I told you I knew who the right man was, what would you say?
I might say yes, And again, I might say no.
I hope you say yes if it's the right man.
And if the right woman comes along, what will you do?
No, I'm bound to marry Dolores. I'm just hovering between love on the one hand and business on the other.
Well, think it all over very carefully before you take the plunge. Oh, and come back here in 5 minutes' time. I have another surprise for you.
As you wish, dear lady.
And that won't be the only surprise. Ah, me, all these men are just alike. Even a millionaire is like a baby in the hands of a woman of tact. There are people who have tried to be smart and dignified, but there's just one little thing that they have lacked. They have cash enough, maybe, and no end of pedigree, but they haven't got a penny worth of tact. No, they wouldn't tell a lie, or no, they'd rather die, for they're sure to be discovered before long. But if only tact is that you can do an awful lot, which you might be called the right, the very wrong. Tact, tact, take it for a fact. Just try it and you'll find it will invariably act. Perhaps they told you if you're young that there's nothing like the truth, but it really can't compare at all with tact, tact, tact. No, it really can't compare at all with tact. But you needn't be upset if you find yourself in debt. If you're not inclined to pay, you simply owe. Well, next day you're on the horse, you fancy just one more. So a friend will put the money on for you. For a lady in the rain wouldn't be the proper thing. And besides, you lost your nerves, you always do. Tact, take it for a fact. The race is done, you cannot see the horse that you have backed. So you say, what have you done? I left you back the horse that won. You can do a lot of betting if you take. You can do a lot of betting if you take.
Nonsense, Dolores, you can't disguise yourself from me.
I know I can't. You know me.
And there's someone else here who'll know you too.
Oh, tell me, is it?
Yes, Lord Abercrombie.
Oh, I'm longing to see him.
Ah, there you are, Dolores.
Oh, Lady Holyrood, Angela has told me that Lord Abercrombie is here. Please let me see him.
So you shall, all in good time. But remember, Mr. Gilfane is also here, and we must be very careful and show patience for a little while longer if we're to succeed in making you both very happy. So be nice to Mr. Gilfane, and I promise you that everything will be quite all right before many more hours have gone by. Now, promise me?
I promise, Lady Holyrood.
Mr. Gilfane, I've got the surprise ready for you.
Well, if it isn't my own Dolores, slip me a kiss, baby.
Oh, but that wouldn't be proper, Papa. Such things might be all right in Floradora, but they'll never do in England.
Come, Dolores, let me show you over my castle and emporium.
It's so long since your father was married, he's forgotten all about it.
I shall never forget it as long as I live.
Now, you look after Dolores, and your father shall introduce her tonight to his tenants and retainers.
There must be a proper reception for the bride.
Oh, and of course, I'll see to it.
What is he supposed to be?
He is the mysterious musician. Now he's French. What have you done with the other half of your beard?
I must have swallowed it.
But why is he French?
I can turn my hand to anything. Phrenology, hypnotism, mysterious music. So mysterious you can't hear the music. Never broken me fiddle. But I've never ever left Dolores.
What will Pop say to that?
It's nothing to do with him. As a lie, don't object. Your papa is a usurper, a double-dyed usurper.
Mr. Tweedlepunch, you mustn't say that.
Floradora isn't his. His money isn't his. It all belongs to another.
To another?
Mr. Tweedlepunch and I have a deeply laid plot for Mr. Gilfane's punishment.
Yes, he's going to marry a society widow. That'll punish him.
Arrange this week, and I'll give you a surprise. I'll give you £500.
Well, I'll give you a surprise. I'll take it.
And I've got a surprise for you.
What's this?
It's a wig.
What's it for?
There's the hair. Now you're 80.
Pardon me, I'm 42, and I still have my moments.
But you must be 80 with those things on.
Then I won't wear it. How dare you? I've never ever encouraged you, or you.
Then take it all off.
I will not. I will prepare for the attack in private.
Pop will never be able to resist.
Such glorious conspirators we shall be. Revenge, revenge, revenge!
Lord Abercourt here, and I thought that we were perhaps just ships that passed in the night. I wonder if he really meant it when he said I was his only love. Bright silver star that shines for me, bright silver star in the time of our eventide, when the heart is a-weary and set in the time, tis the time the maiden loves, she
is out of it today for a regular dandy man. No single woman cares. She won't look upon your suit or you, I've heard the worldly say, till you've donned the garb that Tommy Atkins wears.
I want to be a military man.
but lost his charms, and then the top became a cropper at the Rataplan. You lose a lot of chances, and you don't get asked to dances if you're not dressed all in khaki like a military man. I want to join the military, Terry. I've got no chance with Jake or Flo or Mary. I want to hear the Martian Rataplan. I want to be a military man. That is what man is. I want to be a military man. I want to join the military, Terry. I've got no chance with Jake or Flo or Mary. I want to hear the Martian Rataplan. I want to be a military man. That is what man is. I want to be a military man. I want to join the military, Terry. I've got no chance with Jane or Flo or Mary. I want to hear the Martian Rataplan. I want to be a military man. That is what man is. I want to be a military man. I want to join the military, Terry. I've got no chance with Jane or Flo or Mary. I want to hear the Martian Rataplan. I want to be a military man. That is what man is. I want to be a military man.
Now, folks, I've asked you here tonight to give you the lowdown on the most important matter. I've decided to take the plunge and get married.
I say, sir, who is the unfortunate lady?
One more crack like that out of you and I'll make you feel like the thin end of nothing whittled down to a point. My beautiful bride was born on the island of Floradora. Her name is Dolores. And here she is. My bride, my friends, my friends, my bride.
Yes, Mr. Gilfane has discovered by some scientific process that we are suited to one another. Now, when we are married, Mr. Gilfane will find out just how much science has to do with marriage. If we marry, we shall be very happy amongst you all. I said if.
Not so many ifs.
Well, we are not married yet.
But we soon shall be, and then you'll be mistress of this castle and emporium. Now, what do you say to that?
I repeat, we are not married yet. Shall we go into supper?
Certainly, if you wish it, my dear.
Supper is served.
Oh, Mr. Gilfane, would you leave Dolores with me for a few minutes? There's something I wish to say to her which is rather private.
Oh, I get it. You're going to tell her which knife and fork to pick up first, same as you told me. You're a mighty kind woman, Lady Holyrood.
Perhaps not quite so kind as you think. Now, run along and join your guests. It's rude to keep them waiting, you know. Oh, and come back here in 5 minutes' time and fetch Dolores.
Bye-bye, my little wifeykins. I'll be seeing you.
Yes, my dear, and someone will be seeing you too very soon. Now, Dolores, come here. Now, do as I tell you. Wait here until you hear Mr. Gilfane returning to collect you. Then slip into the dining hall and join the guests. Remain there until you hear me call, and then come as quickly as you can.
But is everything all right, Lady Holyrood?
Not yet, my dear, but it soon will be, and I don't think you need worry any more about marrying Mr. Gilfane.
Oh, thank you, Lady Holyrood. You have been so kind to me, you dear, kind friend.
Bless you, my dear. Now, don't forget, wait here until you hear Mr. Gilfane returning. Oh, and good luck.
Dolores!
Frank! My darling, where have you been all this time?
Wandering and wondering
Wondering? What about?
about you, my darling.
And I have been wondering about you.
Well, now that you have found me and I have found you, we will never be apart again.
Not if you want me to stay.
I want you to stay as my wife.
And I want you to stay as my husband and to take me back to the island of Floradora.
Fear not, my love will be ardent, ardent as now, love, or in a future day. Fear not, my heart will be forgetting the vow your lips shall truly you, this is love's dawning. Ah, dream not that twilight can fall with me. For love that is truest love is not for a day, but light will be. Fear not, this is love's dawning love, this is love's dawn, my own, ever for thee. Fear not, my love will be ardent, ardent as thou, love, or in a future day.
Fear not the twilight, dream of dawn, love, not till the night then will our hearts divide, my own.
Not till the shades of the night will our hearts divide.
Will our hearts divide? Will our hearts
Dolores, where are you? Is your little gilly come to fetch you? Go away, go away. I don't want you. Who are you?
I am the band of the Coed Castle, and not so fast, boyo. We come in here for the bath.
I don't like bath. Besides, I can't speak Welsh.
You'll soon learn it.
Why don't you sing me something soft, complimentary and soothing?
Nothing will ever soothe you again, robber.
What was that?
I repeat, nothing will ever soothe you again, robber.
Why is the voice from the past calling me a robber then?
You're standing in other people's shoes, usurper.
It's a lie. The Abercoys squandered it away.
With
I
whose
bought
money?
it. My own. What's it got to do with you anyway?
You'll have to submit, thief. Or restore to them their own.
I'll restore nothing. What I have, I mean to keep.
That's what the bloodred Abercoid said. Till he altered his tune.
I wish you'd alter yours. I'm sick of your twang. Who was the blood red Abercoy?
A robber from the Middle Ages. A friendless girl he stole the money from.
What's that got to do with you? You're not here to tell me detective stories.
First of all, she sickened. And then she died.
I'm glad of that, but that's an end of her.
No! She rose again and haunted the blood-red Abercoid.
Rose up, haunted him?
He never slept again. It is a legend of the castle.
I don't like legends.
You're going to have to listen to this one whether you like it or not. If mod can there within this castle be a man accused of crime and treachery, a man devoid of honour and of truth, one who has tricked a maiden in her youth.
It's a lie. I tricked no maiden in her youth.
Liar, I repeat it, liar! Oh, him shall float the farm of Ethelwinder. That's a good name, isn't it? To haunt his footsteps and forever hinder, cast by the cursed curse of Ethelwinder!
I am the spirit of Ethelwinder!
No!
Behold my blood-stained fingers and thumb with blood of bygone ages daily glistening.
That's tripping.
Ethelwinder from below has come to life, it has!
What of?
I'm to that poor girl, who from her rightful castle throne, my duty here is vengeance! Vengeance! I'll take my way until such time I find that Arish's soul and cruel mind. Only the spirit of Ethelwinder, I shall pursue him, and when he's dead, even you shan't view him.
Did not the island of Floradora and the money of Floradora belong to my good friend Gazara?
They did.
And when he died, they belonged to his daughter Dolores.
They did. I'll confess everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gilfane has a confession to make.
I can't trade with spirits from the past.
Oh, get up, Retarder, no spirits here.
Take that wandering fowl away. I can't stand it.
Pardon me, my photograph.
What? Tweedle punch?
Oui, oui.
Lady Holyrood, you tricked me. I'll give everything back to Dolores.
I don't want everything. Give me back the castle and estates which belong to my future husband.
They bear her husband's name.
And I have a present of £500 for the bard.
I'll take it before it shrinks.
Oh, and now everything's all right. Can I marry Angela?
Yes, well, I'll get married.
Oh,